Hello YouTube. How you doing? How you doing? Man, I hope you're doing well. It's time again for another knife of the day. This is the series where I go through my collection one knife at a time and one day at a time. This is also the series where every now and then we do an exception that proves the rule. Okay? For instance, every weekend I sell some of my collection. And the whole premise of it is these are knives that I purchased for my collection. Well, here's an exception. I did not purchase this knife. This is not a sponsored video. I don't have that many viewers. I have the best viewers, but I don't have a bunch of viewers. But a friend of mine said, "You never do Benchmade knives. I have one that just came out. Check it out." And I thought I'd put it on this channel because a lot of times I'll get comments going, "What about Benchmade? What about Benchmade?" I do not have any Benchmade knives in my collection. It's not that I hate Benchmade. I just decided, the 5 different knives that I wanted in my collection. About 5. I wanted Chris Reeve knives. I have 56 of them. I would loved Spydercos. That's what got me in the knife gang. So I have a bunch of Spydercos. And Browse blades I found early on that I really liked. Strider, Hinderer, all of those knives. Case knives I like because they just remind me of me growing up. So I'm not against Benchmades. I just don't buy them. And then let me give you a real quick thing too. I want to do this real quick. I am trimming. This is the summer of trimming my collection. God bless you guys. I'm glad you like the videos. I'm getting good responses. I also get some responses. I got a comment just the other day saying, "Oh my goodness, so that's kind of a conflict. How are you part of the Spyderco Collectors Club and you're selling off your collection?" First of all, I have over 400 knives. So far, I've sold maybe 25 knives. I am not selling off my collection. But I'm happy that some people were worried about that. When I say trimming, when you sell 25 knives out of 400, and this is the start, I'm going to sell more knives, but that is a trim. I'm trying to get it down to a manageable collection. And Spyderco Collectors Club, it's wonderful because I get all these new knives. By the way, we're going to get 5 new knives probably by the beginning of next week. 4 of them are different variations on one knife. I'm excited about those for a separate reason. And then a knife that is also a variation, but I'm very excited about a knife. This knife I predicted over a year and a half ago that would happen. So anyway, but you have to commit, and I've committed to buy in my collector's club everything, every variation and whatever. So when you get a knife, for instance, the Caribbean, I'm going to get to the Benchmade, I swear I will. I'm actually excited about this little knife. It was a nice surprise. Let's just put it that way. But anyway, when I got the Caribbean, I got sheep's foot, leaf shape, and then I got the sheep's foot serrated and the leaf shape serrated. So if I wasn't in the collector's club, I would have bought the leaf shape. Instead, I get all 4 of them. So that's why it's trimming down the collection, and I put the other 3 up for sale. But anyway, I talked way too much. I'm supposed to leave that for the end. Let's talk about the Benchmade. So I am a neophyte to Benchmade. I am not an expert, okay? I'm not pretending to be one on this video. I'm just telling you what I like and dislike. I have to tell you, I had no expectations. I like this knife. It's the Benchmade 535 Bugout. I say 535 Bugout. That's me, guys. I say 535 Bugout because I don't know how you talk about the Benchmade, if it's just Benchmade Bugout or the 535 Bugout. It's not an inexpensive knife. I thought that Benchmades were all inexpensive. This would cost more than a regular Delica, but it has a little bit more going for it. So let's talk about it. This is a great EDC knife. The reason you saw me do this and nothing happened, my setup, while I have the two hands in front, I'm leaning over with my iPhone on a tripod, a small tripod leaning over. So I'm reaching around with both of my hands. But let me just tell you, this morning, and I don't flip out knives. I'm an old guy. I told you guys that. I'm like, I don't practice flipping knives. I don't do the Spidey flip. I don't do any of that kind of stuff. I just open up my knives. But I'll talk about this access lock. My first time playing with it. It's fun. It's crazy fun. Of course, you can flick it out. It's easy. It has two lugs, double lugs. But this access lock, because I can't get the reach, look how I'm close. Oh shoot, it should pop out. Okay. My motion is messed up, but trust me when I tell you, the access lock and flipping it out is wonderful. I'm going to return this to my friend, but I've been flipping it out and flipping it back in like an old pro. And for a guy that'll be 59 in July and always talks about, I don't need to flip out, that says something. It's a fun knife. It's also a real practical EDC. So let's talk about it. It has a drop point blade. You see that it's a blacked out blade, full flat ground, S30V steel. So that's one reason it's more expensive than your usual Delica. A Delica usually is, you get VG10. Nowadays, of course, you get a lot of different varieties. But it has a lot more going for it than a Delica, right? Delica is a nice, hard-working knife. This seems like a nice, hard-working knife as well. 3.2 inches. That's 3 inches for the edge. Isn't that funny? Since it's not mine, I was going to cut. Yeah, it comes out real nice and sharp. That's how I tell that it's sharp. I mean, the only other way is to cut paper and stuff, and I don't want to mess up a factory edge because it's not mine, right? The other way is to cut open my fingers, and I'm just not interested in that. I say that for the people that come and go, oh, you just touched it a little bit. It's 7.5 inch total length, so it's a real nice, smaller length. In fact, this is in my wheelhouse. I like these smaller knives. Not super knife small, but this is like a nice medium-sized knife. I'm going to compare this with a Native and a Delica so that you can see the difference. Only 1.85 ounces. Okay? Only just under 1.9 ounces, almost 2 ounces. It's very light, very nice. Again, I was surprised. I had no expectations of it, but man, it's really nice. If I wasn't reaching over a tripod, trust me, the action with this lock, I know I keep trying and looking like crazy, but you guys get it, especially you Benchmade fans get it. It is so nice. Look at this. This is right out of the box, by the way. I really like it. Now let's talk about the handle. Again, I'm not a Benchmade expert. They say this is polymer handle. So again, a stronger kind of plastic. I wanted to know if it was FRN that I'm used to with Spyderco, but it feels really nice. Has a good inlay of grip, decent grip. I'm in love with this access lock. Now, I don't know how strong it is or any of that. Again, I'm just giving you my feelings of a knife out of the box that a friend loaned to me. But, wow, it feels nice. No jimping on the blade, thin blade. Has that little swedge to get to a sharper point. See that? Like a partial swedge going down. The clip, I like that it's a small clip. Nice small clip. Left hand or right hand tip up only. Doesn't get in the way of the access lock. And a huge lanyard hole. Now, I'm sure someone on some channel on YouTube, there's, 2,500 different channels on knives. Someone probably broke this thing down, cleaned it, explained each part and the history that it has in knife making. And you know what? Sometimes I stay up late at night watching those, even though I don't understand everything. So if you want more detailed, you guys know that YouTube, there's a video on it somewhere. But I like this knife. All right. Now, this is, again, you guys are more familiar. I guess Benchmade's come in 3 different classes. The black class, and that's designed for like heavy duty. They say that's really military people and people who just really gonna use a knife. Blue class, which this includes, is all of the stuff we're used to, like $100 or more or some of the lesser ones. All of those fall in there. And then they have a gold class, bridging the gap between custom and manufactured. Maybe I'll try out one of those. But I like this. If you were looking for an EDC knife from a guy who hasn't had a Benchmade in his hands at all, ever. Did I say ever? And I've been collecting for over 3 years. This is a nice knife for EDC. Very nice knife. Again, hey, first time on the channel. I'm old. You can teach an old dog some new tricks. There it is against the Delica. It's a little bit bigger than a Delica, which means it's a little bit bigger than the native. But in my mind, that's the category you're looking for. A small, light carry that you can use up a lot. Again, not an inexpensive knife, over $100, but not, in the lower end of that $100. I like it. There you have it. Something new on the Keith Kevin Kin channel. It's a Benchmade knife. It's a Benchmade 535 Bugout with S30V steel, 3.2 inch blacked out flat ground blade. If you're enjoying and I haven't run out of knives, we're still gonna do my knives, and we're gonna continue to do new knives as well. If you enjoy these videos, don't forget to thumb it up, just to let me know that you're out there. I really appreciate it. You guys just don't know. As I go through the workday, it's great to see the thumb ups. Don't forget to subscribe. Believe it or not, all of you, thank you very much. You guys have really made my day by subscribing. Turn on your notifications. Less than 30% of the folks who watch these videos actually subscribe. Take a couple of seconds, subscribe. Once you subscribe, you'll see a bell. Hit those. You don't want to miss out on all the sales. This weekend we'll have another sale. I don't know what yet, but it'll be a bunch of knives out of the collection. You guys have a perfect day. Keep those pockets full. I still can't believe I have a Benchmade on my table. Goodbye.